What I've seen over the years as law enforcement, and then just growing up with my own experiences, I've noticed no structure within the family. A lot of parents don't put the time in because they pacify or placate the kids and say, go ahead, you can just eat all the candy you want, just don't scream. It's exactly what your kid's going to do when they get into the workforce. If there is no structure provided for them at a young age, their whole adulthood life is going to be fighting structure. But the more confident you can build your kid, I guarantee you one thing. Your kid's going to go out in the world and become a good person in the world, and they'll be compassionate. Weakness will never give you what you want. Never. It never pays off. Laziness never pays off. Laziness will never give you what you want. And that wreaks havoc with the society, and that builds bullies and people that just scream at people, and they have no self-worth because they're not doing anything to be productive. It's that mentoring. You start mentoring a kid at a young age, you're better off on the latter end. Someone that you intercede in the beginning, you need a full spectrum agreement with everyone. I talk a lot to the kids, the girls, and we have daily and nightly briefs that we just talk about anything and everything. And I talk about life, I talk about structure, I talk about them, I talk about influences around other friends, I talk about things that have done in high school. You name it. We talk about everything, so nothing is foreign to them if it ever intersects their life at some point. But for their level of complete focus was CrossFit competitions, and soccer. And so what we got from that is you're not dictating to the kid or your kids what you want solely, it's their buy-in. Because ask anybody, if they have no buy-in and you're telling them what to do, there may not be 100% into what they're doing. So with the kids, it's the same thing. They have buy-in, they're more likely to excel in it. So we just kind of focused with that, and we checked and balanced along the way and make sure that they still wanted it along the way. And we always told them too, I like those things, but it doesn't matter what you want. You can change focus. If you want to change focus, I don't care what it is, but you better give 100% at it, and you better be all in, and you better never quit. You got to have that buy-in. That buy-in with that kid takes extra time. I talked about it earlier where, you don't have that buy-in, You're going to be financially responsible for a kid that's 35 years old, still begging for money and still living in your basement. And nobody wants that. And everyone can relate to a person they know that has a kid like that. There's no buy-in on those families that say, hey, I planned this. I need to go all in on this and be dedicated for it. Same thing with people they'll go over the stock market in their own money and they'll watch it left and right and daily, and they'll plan this. And not that that's bad, but my take on life is your kids are your greatest investment. Your kids carry your DNA and your last name through life. People see your kids somewhere, and you would love to hear as a parent, hey, your kid's very polite, they're happy, I really appreciate them, rather than the other of like, oh my God, I'll never have that kid babysit for me ever again. And that kid's lazy, he doesn't work, I had to fire him. Well, to make sure those things don't occur, that buy-in in a very, very, very early age. When we're talking about structure with kids, it's about giving them a left limit and a right limit. Just like anything else they're going to do in life, their career, their job, team sports. But it's induced with movement in between so they can roam freely. So that structure builds left limits, right limits. So for me, example, Mary and I have done, we run a small ranch. We run cattle, we have horses, we have goats, we have chickens. And through that, the girls feed. They have a cycle of moving cows. We get our cows pregnant. We have calves every year. So within that, there's structure for them to do to provide for the family, to help the family. Also with them, as they do CrossFit, and we're trying to build athletes, their buy-in is they wanted to be an athlete. So every day we're at the gym at a certain amount of time for them to perform what they want to do. And the family goes along with that. And then with just the regular everyday stuff that we do around the house, it's structured. But it takes away from like kids that just want to sit on a couch and just veg out and get on the phone and watch TV. There's no movement there. There's no action. So structure, with a kid operating in it, they know how far left they can go. They know how far right they can go, but they need to perform within the left and the right. And it's just like going through life with them. Is they're gonna have structure in their life as they get older. If you don't induce it now, they're gonna fight it their whole life. And then you lose on that work ethic and becoming a very productive person for society. So if you induce it now, it just benefits them later on. I'm 100% behind the girls for competing in CrossFit. We go to the gym for literally 2.5, 3 hours every single day. We made that part of our life. We still raise beef cows, we still ride horses, we still do all this other stuff, right? But it's what they wanted, so I've got to show support for it. And so, me and my wife, we work out with them, and the whole family just gets healthier, and you get in shape, and their level of input is a little bit different than mine and my wife's, so we do it to maintain, and for job functionality, the girls do it for competition. So most people will do anything if they know they're supported. If they're unsupported, it's a drudge, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's your kid's first team. Everything's done for the family, fail as a family, you succeed as a family. And with that kid, that buy-in from the kids, and they see that, it makes their things that they want to go out and do much more pleasurable, much more successful, because the family's on their back supporting them. And it's the same thing with the parents. So I'm there with my girls or my wife when they succeed and when they fail. And when they fail, figure out a reason not to do it again and make it habitual. There is nothing more important than your investment in your kids and your family. Bring the family together, solve problems together, succeed together, and live life together.
Family means success and togetherness, so whatever one person does, everybody does it together to help succeed. Family's there to back you when you need them the most, and so everyone does everything together. No one's left behind.
Family means all of us working together, loving each other no matter what, working through problems, helping each other get through things, just never stopping on each other, never quitting.